It seems the crypto market is back in crazy territory, where every single time I take a look at it, it's up or down quite a good amount. And I seriously also think that this is one of the points where most people decide to give up because they either cannot handle the volatility or because it's not giving them enough gains. They're looking at the crypto market thinking, it's down again, it's down again, it's down again, and they're not motivated enough to keep going on. But I'll tell you one thing. Whenever I look at these coin movements, the only thing that goes through my mind is, hey, should I be buying some more now? Should I go? Alex said, either I'm just emotionally immune to dips and volatility, or you guys are a bunch of pansies ass tampon timmies. This isn't even a bull market dip. It's like an average correction. All of you, TRT now. Now, can't necessarily recommend y'all to do that. But I stated a bit earlier, like Alex here said, life balance, people will hate this, right? All the people that are like, oh, but you need to put everything. I keep saying the next few months are where you just get a bit delusional, right? Go on a bit of a crazy cuckoo state because it's going to be so worth it to dedicate a lot of extra time that you would have normally spent on partying, normally spent on golfing, whatever. Spend it right now on the crypto space because you'll thank yourself as this, let's say 6-month span can change your entire 25-year future. And it's really that small a time to give for that long a time. It can be that severe. But the next 4 months in markets, you can make enough money to last 5 lifetimes. Now, that is not really realistic for most people. Let's be honest here, right? But it's possible. And a lot of people will, a lot of people are. Screw your holiday plans, your friends, your family, your hobbies, and balance. Trust me, they'll forgive you when you fly them to 𝗕𝗏𝗀𝗀 on your private jet. Just lock in. And again, I won't say put everything back. I'm just saying that a little bit of sacrifice, or matter of fact, kind of a lot of a sacrifice right now in this period can be worth so much in the near future. A good example is, let's say, for example, you were paying a lot of attention over the past few weeks. You would have realized that one of the hottest topics out there was a thing called 𝗵𝗵𝗏𝗧𝗏. Now, I can't recommend you to stick with that forever. It's basically a top signal on its own, but it's actually one of the best performing coins over the past few months. And I'd say it's quite an obvious one throughout the last few weeks. Same with HYPE. HYPE was all the hype, and it just kept going up every single day. I think today even, it's still one of the best gainers out there. And it's just so easy to find these trends if you're paying a lot of attention. Another part I'll say though, and this is a thing I often like to recite. Time in the markets is more important than time in the markets. And I always state that even though some people say, if I timed it better, I could have had way more coins. Might be true. Generally speaking, it is true that every single year, at least the basis kind of goes up in which cryptos are stationed at. For example, in 2020, it cost you $1,100 to buy 10,000 XRP. In 2021, it cost you $2,000 to buy 10,000 XRP. In 2022, it cost you $3,000 to buy 10,000 XRP. In 2023, it would have cost you $6,000, again, at some point, to buy 10,000 XRP. Right now, in 2024, it's costing you about $22.4 thousand to buy 10,000 XRP. And soon, in 2025, probably, maybe, who knows, right? Hopefully, it will cost you $330,000 to buy 10,000 XRP. I think a bit too high, because I don't know if I kind of believe or feel the $33 price prediction per XRP, but you can kind of see where it's coming from the perspective that if you just keep it up, and you just keep getting yourself more and more coins and you average it out over the years, generally speaking, the market just moves upwards and upwards and upwards. And to get back to this earlier story, matter of fact, right? You might say, yeah, but shouldn't I lock in? I always say the earlier you start with just hyper focus, really spending a lot of time on it. And by the way, if you haven't done it yet, make sure you press the like button on this video right now. The more the fruits will bear themselves, because nobody really knows when the top is going to be in, all right? We know a lot of the news that's going on. For example, just now, this looks better. All other ETFs sold $800 million worth of Bitcoin this week, but the BlackRock ETF, they kept on buying. They bought themselves another $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin again, because they just know their clients want it. They need to have it. They want it. They need it. Little bit of news in the Ripple ecosystem, by the way. This is actually kind of funny because we earlier talked about how Ripple was a little bit on the side of Kamala Harris, right? We talked about that a bit before. We talked about what could their tactics be. I'll talk about this more in depth because the Ripple XRP Trump connections are getting stronger and stronger by the day. But apparently Ripple just donated $5 million worth of XRP to President-elect Trump's inaugural fund, which is kind of interesting. Especially the comments here about it, by the way. This has to be illegal. It's a bribe being disguised as a donation. Trump should reject it if he has honor. And and people are coming in. Man, but we've talked about it for a while. That at the end of the day, it's just business, man. It can be personal preferences at the back end, which I never really like to mix up here. I'd say if there's personal preference involved with, for example, this Chris Larson's donation to 𝗕𝗪𝗲, I'd say, you know what? That's what they want to do. If that's personal, that's personal. And I can't really say I'm a bigger fan of Trump or anybody else. They all have good and bad parts at the end of the day, right? Every single one of them has good and bad parts, just like any human on earth. I will say that Trump is way better for crypto, and this, from Ripple's side, can be seen as a good business move. I mean, some will call it really bad faith. I call it, damn, that's smart. You know, give the man a little bit of your juice. Give him a little bit of your coins, because he's ultimately the one to take the lawsuit away, probably. But that's beside the point. To get back to our earlier story, two things, right? One is, this is your time to shine. This is the time where if you pay a lot of attention, you can spot what the next trend is going to be. I've said it in multiple videos, but last time, for example, in the January to April area, it was AI coins that absolutely popped off. If you're there all the time, you realize what the big trends are. And I made a couple of videos saying, hey, these are my top AI coins. These are my top coins. If you watch them now, you might think, Dusty, you're the most dumb human being in the world. Hey, cool. If you watch them at the time, you realize, hey, you know what? These are the most trendy things. I got to find new coins in this sector. Or I probably should buy these right now and hopefully flip them quick or hold them for the next season. If the bull market really went crazy back then, all those coins would have just gone up and up and up and up because the trend started there, would most likely continue strong. Since the market fell down, it was only good for a few months, and afterwards, all of them went down a good percent. Just like how right now, a lot of memes are back down 50, 60% from their highs. I'm going to say last month or somewhere, maybe even earlier throughout the month. Many coins are down very, very big. Even XRP, if you think about it, it went down like 35% just now, or 30-some%. And it should make you realize that even in great bull markets, you will see volatility, you will see these falls. Just generally speaking, this is still true. And generally speaking, the more time you spend in the market, the more you'll realize which coins you got to buy the dip of. Ultimately, it's always like this, though. When things are going up, you're like, oh, man, I wish I bought. When things are coming down, you're like, aha, see, I should have never bought this stupid stuff. And then when it goes back up again, you're like, oh, I should have bought. And just know that if you right now have lost money with trading crypto, and by the way, if you want to trade crypto, I've got a couple of links down below to either 𝗏𝗏 or 𝗕𝗏𝗃. These are some of the crypto exchanges I use right now to trade on. You can probably use them from anywhere in the world. Just check them out. I'll leave a link for 𝗏𝗏 down below. Right now, there's some pretty big bonuses you can get. And I mean, we're trading on it every single day, and I keep adding every single day, it seems like, because I'm pretty freaking bullish. But hey, that's besides the point. We also, of course, have our Bybit trade still open, especially the XRP trade is still kind of funny here. Turning our $1,000 into $30,000 with already $21,000 cashed out. But long story about that. I was going to say, here's Scott words. The amount of paper wealth that has been erased the past weeks is not to be underestimated. Some publicly stated their losses. Some would choose to cry themselves to sleep at night, like, for example, me. That's what he said. What's important is the following. It takes one good quarter to make it out of the hood. This is not the end of your story. Very kind of you guys reaching out. For once, I've done very okay, LMAO. Out of the hood for real. And then somebody responded saying, bro, you good? Seems you lost a lot. We have all, to be honest. In fact, I'm at 0 USDT right now. I lost my whole portfolio in this dump. And he said, oh, good, man. Very happy with the 2024 performance. What about you? And again, at the end of the day, it's about the fact that when prices come down, a lot of people lose bunches because they want to make more on the move up. And that's why I often state that leverage can be dangerous, sure, but it's also the way that some people turn their $5,000 into $12 million in like the span of a few months because they go a bit crazy. They lock in. And I am personally quite of the opinion that if you really spend a lot of time in this market, that you're able to win because generally speaking, the market moves up. A couple of my friends are really good at shorting, even in bull markets. I would say don't start with that because it's pretty difficult to get the grasp of it. Whereas with longing, generally speaking, if you know the asset will go up over the span of multiple months, which we're 99% certain of, not financial advice, but that's what I am, then all it takes is a bit of a breather. You need enough time to make sure you don't get completely wrecked. And a little bit of luck that your timing is not the absolute worst, where then for 2 months it just goes down. Because even though you don't necessarily have to cash in that loss, you know, you got to have some money then to buy down lower and lower and lower. If you started lower, it would have been easier. But ultimately, that's also where you realize that prices coming down. Actually, one of my friends also said it here quite nicely. Let me quickly see if I can find it here. Calio said that the price action right now is actually not depressing. Matter of fact, I personally find it sometimes more depressing when things keep going up every single day. You might say, Dusty, all going up is amazing. You know what it is, though? when they go up so hard, I get stressed out, like a lot. Because I know a correction at some point is going to come. I don't know how deep the correction is going to be. It feels like the bull market is going to be over soon when things go too fast. Right now, they're slowly built up. Bitcoin hasn't gone on a crazy move in a while. It goes slowly down. It goes slowly back up, slowly down. Oh, yes, altcoins got slashed a little bit, but it's only 30% in a few days. Whereas in 2021 in May, I remember a day where altcoins were down 60 or more % in a day. That's where you hate your life. But most of the time, it's after some crazy spurts, some crazy ups in terms of price. And so if you see multiple days of up and up and up, I'm watching this constantly. Whereas if they sometimes go down, especially what we saw right now, normal corrections, it feels a lot more healthy. I don't have to watch it every single second or so. And even though we've seen some record liquidation numbers, generally speaking, they've actually been quite small for what they could be. And I was saying earlier that the more time you spend, the more you realize what the best narratives are. Here's, for example, one of the best traders out there in the world, DeFi's credit. He said, okay, it seems like now we're never bidding across the board ETH, virtuals, and FTM at these prices. I keep saying, the more you spend time in this market, the more you realize, hey, for example, virtual and FTM. I said FTM, whenever it goes to 42 or whatever cents, buy it like a maniac. Then it went to $1.20 quickly afterwards. Many coins did, so I'm not stating that I was smart with that. I'm just saying that was one of the high conviction plays. And it did a lot better than many other altcoins. It wasn't the best, but it did really, really well. And it was just a logical area to buy in. And I realized that because I spent a lot of time researching the coin. Virtual, he made a whole thesis about why to buy Virtual. He bought the freaking dip a few days ago. And Virtual is up a ton from that dip, like 30% or so from that dip. Phantom is also up a good bunch, not as much, but still very, I think up like 20% or so since that dip. And it made me realize that indeed, if you spend a lot of time here, you really realize what a proper dip to buy is and what is stupid. Here you can see some coins are going down like 5% over the hour again. Matter of fact, nothing is actually up this hour. Everything seems to be going down a little bit, but I'll keep saying this. With almost any of these coins, you can make a very good amount of money by either trading it or by just holding it and keeping it, as many of them will probably do extremely well over the next few months or years. But some of the coins will do significantly better than others, and some entire sectors you can completely outperform any of these coins with, but usually you only figure out which ones by spending a lot of time in there. And so I say to you right now, if you've got a couple of months to spare for a lifetime of gains, this is the time to really set yourself straight, go for it all the way, and I don't think you'll ever regret it. Mostly because it's a very short amount of time where a lot of changes can be made. And damn, I had another realization. The new year is about to start. That means the gyms are going to be full again, huh? Damn. Anyway, that's about it for the story. See you guys again another one. Make sure you put the notification bell so you never miss out on another episode. I don't know why I started mumbling just now. But the thing is, there's no real crazy news today that's too important to not be covered. It's mostly just a mindset game right now. If things are coming down a little bit, you can talk about all the Trump panic, etc., etc. We done it yesterday. Just mindset. Get your mind in the game. It's all going to be worth it soon.